So, good day to all of you. I know it's been a very, very long break, but due to many professional and personal reasons, including an internship for me and work for him, we were unable to record. But rest assured, we'll be conducting a very thorough overview and reminiscing of the events that have taken place so far. More so, a bunch of vignettes that we think are very important. So on that note, I'd like to introduce Nikhil Mehra back to the show.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good, good. So now let's begin with the India-England series. Since we are late, I know that it is late, but let's begin with that series since it's the logical first step. Do you think 2-2 was a fair result? Tell me that first.
Yes,
I agree with you there. I agree with you there. I have
yes.
some points.
Uh, if there was a team that perhaps deserved to win the series outright, it probably was us.
Hmm.
But I don't think that's the case. I don't think the gap between us and them was enough for us to push through a win. Uh, yeah, I mean, I think it's perfectly fair.
It's a fair result. I agree with that. But
You
you
know,
know,
you look at it that way. Both teams have solid outright victories in one test, right?
massive
And narrow
victories in one
victories
test.
in one test
Yeah, narrow
each.
victories in one
And I
test.
think that works.
Yeah, that works. But it pleased me no end to see pitches where the batsmen were actually making runs in this series, in the sense that it was so awful to see Indian pitches over the past 3 years. Besides that rare India England series where they were actually making runs, every other series was a nightmare to bat on. This was actually good batting conditions. Batters were allowed to bat on those conditions for a very long time. There were not an egregious number of 600s. There was one 600 and one 500 plus score. So it was not too bad. Flat pitches, yes, I get the point, but still very, very watchable cricket. The kind of cricket that we are usually used to seeing on rubbish Indian pitches, especially that New Zealand series, or for that matter, even the series prior to that, several series prior to that, this was very watchable. I could see batters actually getting rewarded for spending time at the crease. Indian batters more so than English batters. Joe Root is a notable exception, but my pleasure in seeing them bat long hours was so unfiltered whenever I looked at it, because I saw Shubman Gill making that 250 and I was thinking, wow, yes, this is a 10-hour batting display. This is a genuinely good test match batting performance. Yes, flat conditions and all that, I get that, but still genuinely good test match batting. Similar to that, there were a few other hundreds. There was the Yashasvi Jaiswal 100 at the Oval. Yes, dropped 3 times. I get that. I agree. But it was a very good test match batting performance. There were a few other innings like that. The KL Rahul 100 at Lloyds and the one at Headingley. Both were beautiful hundreds in that sense. So, in that sense, I felt that this series really showcased some amount of batting, which we have been lacking for a few years. And there was a good amount of batting. The bowling was there, yes, at occasional spurts and growth, it was there. But the batting was good to watch. It was really good to watch.
Yeah, before the series started, after the retirement of Rohit and Virat, even though those two themselves had just their form had collapsed. Uh, oh, obviously, Virat for quite some time and Rohit for briefer period, but quite dramatically, with
About
no
6 months.
real with no real hope for it to return. So when they get dropped, there was nonetheless the feeling that the batsmen that are remaining, we don't know the level of confidence that we're supposed to have in them, right? And so the question before the start of the series was, where do the runs come from? Because for whatever reason, there was this overarching faith in Bumrah, even if he plays fewer test matches, uh, Shami, etc., that the wickets will come. Uh, I think we also looked at the English batting, and rightly before the start of the series, it was quite a suspect setup. Uh, but I look, in the end, it's a great series. It's a fun series. The end is so dramatic that morning. I mean, the last wicket being a yorker with a handful of runs to go is always very dramatic. But it's not the highest quality cricket you've seen, which is fine. Not every series needs to be the highest quality cricket that you see. It's
You
not going to
won't
be
get
like
that
that.
every series. You won't get
You
that
won't.
every
You won't.
series.
And if you did, you wouldn't appreciate it. It's
Yeah.
perfectly fine to have a good, hard fought series, which is the way this was. I think England made a huge mistake. They could have juiced up these tracks and played on India's weakness a little bit. You had a captain at number 4 who hadn't had a chance to bed in as yet in that position. Never batted
Yes.
there before. And you
Yes.
could have attacked him more. And instead, by the time he was coming out to bat, the decks were gone. And then we had in the early part of the series, or at least the first half of the series, which people stopped talking about later, but the controversy was had been established that these balls are also getting softer a lot earlier. So not only
Yes.
was
Yes.
there not as much of an pronounced seam because they reduced that as well on the Duke ball, but then they made
Yes.
the wickets flatter, and then these balls also got softer a lot earlier. When you add all of
Yes.
that up, it's really hellish for the bowlers. I mean, if you look at it, uh, in Headingley, the first test, but for the fact that we had this really inexplicable collapse on the fourth day,
Fourth day. Fourth day.
right? It really should have been a declaration, and then they are also batting out without being bowled out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's how flat the pitches were. And I really want to make this point. I know I've repeatedly been telling you. I've put it on Twitter a couple of times, and I've spoken to others about it. I just want to make this point very clearly. There is a very natural reason why the rhythm of a game is typically that the fourth innings deteriorates, the pitch deteriorates, and scoring gets harder because
Yes.
the
Yes.
team that bats fourth also bats second. So the logic
Yes.
is when you bat first, good test match pitches are at their freshest on day one,
So
right?
there'll be a little help for the bowlers also on
There
day
should
one.
be that there should be that additional help for the bowlers, and it should be enough to make sure you're not allowing that team that bats first to bat more than 4 sessions, maybe four and a half if they bat really really well and are
Yes.
crossing 400. And I'm assuming they're crossing 400. I'm not even taking
Yes.
a bad pitch. I'm saying a normal cricket pitch.
Normal
Right, the
cricket
next
pitch.
day and a half to maybe 2 days, or remainder of day two, day three, is when the
Mm.
pitch is at its flattest, and your prerogative as the team batting second is now to get well ahead of the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
because you will suffer at the back end. Because if you
Yeah.
don't suffer at the back end, the team batting first, let's say it stays the same in all 4 innings, right? The
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
biggest disadvantage is the team batting first because they must choose the declaration in the third innings.
Yes.
And
Yes.
if the pitch is so flat and the ball's doing nothing, then there's no reason to worry about it for the batting team to hold back, right?
Absolutely
So
not.
classic case of what a proper test match looks like. Chennai Test 2001, right?
Yes. Yes.
391 by Australia. That's a sizable total.
501 by India.
526, I think, by now. 501,
No,
I think, by India.
501. 501 by
501
India.
by India,
By
right?
India.
Good response. You get ahead of the game. And then the third day pitch is good enough for them to get 260 odd,
And they give us a target of 155, which we achieve 8
which
wickets
is
down.
hard enough to chase on day 5.
Hmm. Hmm.
And you go down to the wire, right? And that's a very varied range of skills being exercised throughout the test match.
But you know what? Chennai has exhibited both behaviors. I'll never
No,
understand the Chennai pitch.
I don't want to get into a debate about Chennai. This is not quad Chennai. I can give you other test matches where similar kind of these used to be good scoring patterns to a test match, very good scoring
Hmm.
patterns to a test match. And what it does is people see this is the other fraudulent sort of statistic that people live and die by. What is the fourth innings record of a person? Fourth innings record. If your fourth innings record, if you need a great fourth innings record, you haven't played a good test match, right? So the idea
Or
is
or the pitch is excessively flat, like in the series that we
that's
just
what
saw.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So what you really need is for your first innings to be the most impactful innings of the test, and you gain certain margins in that first innings that then you are
Hmm.
able to utilize and press home in the second innings,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
right?
Point.
And that's the key, and that's where I found these pitches very disappointing. And That the classic example of that is Headingley.
Yes,
We got
yes.
bowled out. I'm not saying we didn't get bowled out, but let's say you add another 40 here.
They probably draw the match. They don't win the
No,
match.
no, you add. I think they still win it. They still win it. Maybe with 2 overs to go, 4 overs to go, 5 overs to go. They just
I
accelerate at
think
some
we
point.
needed. I think we needed 450 on that deck just to get a draw.
That's what I'm trying to say. So, but how are you to know that on the day
Because
prior, right?
yeah, yeah.
You also have an onus to go for the win.
Yeah, but I think that is where in Old Trafford, Gambhir basically instructed the team there's no point in winning on this flatty, just bat it out. And there itself, England's plans to an extent backfired on them because Bazball bats at such a high run rate. They consumed far less overs than India while batting. So their
No,
bowlers
by the
bowled
way,
a
that's
lot
another
more
thing I
overs.
want to point out. I don't think Bazball batted at that excessive run rate in this series. I mean, it certainly
No,
wasn't a differential run rate.
I mean, in certain matches they did, but not in all matches. In Headingley, they were very quick. There's no doubt about that whatsoever.
But so were
But
we.
in see this, so we batted at a run rate of 4.1 in our first innings.
Yeah, and they're
Then we
4.6. I mean, 4.1 is not a run rate you can scoff at. Yeah.
absolutely not. They batted at 4.6. We batted at 3.8, and then they batted at 4.5. So significant, but not that significant. I'll agree with you there. That was the first test match. The second test, yeah, second test was obvious differential. 3.8 for us, which is decent. They batted at a run rate of 4.5. Then we did 5. Then we actually did a declaration innings of 5. And then they went down all guns a blazing. So that was not really a problem there. Lords was a weird situation where everyone batted at a run rate of 3 or even below 3. So Lords really doesn't work here. 3.4,
Tougher pitch.
3.2.
Tougher pitch. Much
The
tougher
3 point,
pitch.
yeah, the much tougher pitch. 2.2, yeah, much tougher pitch. And then the fourth test is another weird one because we bat at a run rate of 3.1. They bat at a run rate of 4.2. And then we do a 2.97, but that is a drawing inning. So I'm not going to count that run rate too much. The fifth test, 3.2 meets 4.81. Yeah, look at the differential at the oval. 3.2 meets 4.81. And then we do 4.5, clearly the best batting days. And then they do 4.3. So they were quicker. They were quicker on average, and they were quicker most of their innings to us. There is one exception. The quickest innings was actually by us, that 427 for 6 in the second test. But yes, generally speaking, they were the quicker side. But that is the problem. Their entire modus operandi basically went against them because of the fact that they were doing it so fast, so quickly, that essentially what happened was they lost the ability to rest their bowlers. Their bowlers were essentially reduced to bowling overs after overs after overs after overs after overs. It was not really much of a surprise, was it? So once the overs after overs started piling up, then their injuries also started piling up. That's what I saw. Essentially, that's exactly what I saw with Jafra, for example. Jafra couldn't handle more than 80 overs. Josh Tongue couldn't handle more than 100 odds overs. Wood wasn't even bowled in the series. That is the level of problems that we were seeing.
I mean, just on the batting side, look, uh, this is one of those series where I just if you didn't get to get these series in the 90s because somewhere in the 90s the 5 test match series died out completely.
Yeah.
So for most of his career, I actually think Tendulkar has
Tendulkar
played
didn't have a
only
single five test series. Tendulkar
no,
didn't
he
have a
did,
single five.
but I think only
Oh, yeah,
one.
1-1 against Australia in 92. Yeah, that
91,
was pretty
92.
much
That's
his
it.
only one. Yeah,
Right? That's
that's it. That's
remarkable. The guy has a 24-year career and he has
of
won five
200
match
tests.
series.
Of 200
Yeah,
tests
and
and
one
won five
five
matches.
match series. These guys will have had multiple of them. And but while at the same time, the England Aussie boys used to play each other five series, five
Actually, they
test
have
match
played
series.
even six test match Ashes in
That's
those
right. They
years.
have. They have. And for a while, even against the West Indies, Australia used to play five test match series before they
Yes.
downgraded that test series, as did England. Right. So everybody
Yes.
else was doing it. So their series records used to be a lot better. and stuff like that, right?
Yes.
In
Yes.
a 5 match series, you can like Joe Root actually makes a comeback into this series.
Yes. Yes.
He's out of the series for the first 3 innings, 4 innings.
Yes.
Starts making a
Yes.
comeback in this series at Lords, etc. Right?
Yes.
And you can have two or three good innings and makes a series for you, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Root as well as he batted, right, on the in the last test, it
Yes.
was the pressure that he came under for that
Yes.
45 minutes on the fourth evening, and then for that 45-50 minutes on the fourth evening. Well, for a
Yeah.
45-minute period, all they scored were leg byes, right? And that's
Yeah.
a pressure created first by Jacob Bethel, no doubt. Bethel couldn't handle it,
Yeah.
but Root as well, right? But his series numbers will look good. Whereas you could see it, all that incoming delivery,
Yeah.
hitting his pad. Everybody knows the outcome, outgoer is coming. It's coming. And the moment it came, he nicked it straight to the keeper. And you would ordinarily look at an experienced batsman and say, brother, not you. You can't be giving this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can understand the other guy. You can't get fooled by this. I mean, the next morning we saw very typical, very simple plays set up by India, which fooled them every time. I mean, it was shocking. Right?
One more thing.
So
Actually, you were
what I'm
talking
getting
about
at
the
is that
outgoing.
batsmen get a lot more leeway in a 5 match series, particularly a series of this sort where, other than Lord's second innings,
Yeah. And the
right,
Lord's
there is no
third and fourth. Yeah. Both innings.
that
Yeah.
second innings of the test. So
Yeah.
therefore, Lord's third and fourth innings,
Yeah.
there are no
Yeah.
bad batting conditions.
No. No.
There are patches of them, small patches of them. Uh, for
Oval.
example,
Oval first innings. Both sides. Oval first innings, I would say.
patches of them in parts. Over first innings, we still scored quite a few runs, man.
224. That's not great. Let's put it that way. It was a
Why
slightly
isn't it
green
great?
pitch. I mean, considering what we had been doing in the rest of the series, ideally we should have scored around 300 there. Struggled and got to 300 on that pitch. But I
No,
don't see
you're talking about oval, the last
oval.
test.
Oh, last test,
Yeah,
224.
last test. Yeah, because that's the one test in which the rain actually came properly. Otherwise, it was a dry summer, and in a dry
Yes.
summer, there's always runs and runs and runs. I mean, even at Headingley, completely easy first batting day, right?
Yeah.
Then the next morning it rains a bit,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
and we get rolled over,
Yes. Yes. But
right?
not
And then
because
we
of the
are
rain, but because of stupid decision making. It was not
well,
because
I
of the
mean,
rain.
the ball is doing more. The ball is definitely doing more. We had that in patches throughout here. Multiple occasions on which we lost 4, 5, 6 together. Those collapses don't disappear. They still hurt you. They still cause
Yeah.
game variance. I mean, they cause game variance at 400 runs because the other side is also going to get to that kind of score,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then there was like that very, very, very bizarre sort of. If you look at it, we had two collapses in Headingley.
Yes. Yes.
Second
Yes.
morning and fourth evening.
Fourth evening. Yeah.
If you take both out and then the dropped catches at Headingley.
My God. But by the way, at the end of the series, England dropped as many catches as did India.
Yeah,
England
yeah,
gave back the Headingley test with the oval test. They dropped
yeah,
Jaiswal thrice. They dropped
absolutely,
another couple
absolutely,
of
right.
catches. They basically gave it
Absolutely,
back.
right.
We are not going
Absolutely,
to
right.
let you go without a free present, and they gave it all back. All
Absolutely,
of the
right.
interest
I
paid.
like look. The series is now in the books. People have seen it. It's been quite some time, so I don't want to belabor beyond a point. But just a few observations from it that I really, really like. Washington Sundar bowled a couple of spells of spin bowling
Yeah.
in this series, the likes of which Ravindra Jadeja has not bowled in a Sena country in his entire career.
No,
Okay,
he
so
has
people
bowled it
keep
on
making
one occasion.
excuses.
On one occasion. On one occasion. I was actually searching for that particular thing. Jadeja has bowled one or two spells of that quality on a Sena pitch long ago, 2013. So agreed. You have forgotten that, but
So
yes.
Lords, the spell that Washi comes up with at Lords is amazing in my opinion. And
But it's not a classical off spinner spell. It is
no, no, no.
all very modern
Look.
off
You may
spinner.
not call it a classical off spinner spell in as much as he's not looking to float it through the gap between bat and pad or off and end off stump.
Or
But
even
you
get the
can. But a
inside edge
classical off
onto.
spinner could also bowl a spell based on a dusra, the straighter one, or the arm ball. And this was all arm
Yes.
ball. It was all on the
Yeah,
arm ball. It was a fantastic spell of bowling. Be that as it may.
Jamie Smith.
Uh,
Jamie Smith was one of the best deliveries I'll ever see. Like the ball actually literally straightened and went the other way off the pitch. Beautiful
yeah,
delivery.
it's a proper dusra. It's a proper dusra. It's a really good delivery.
Yeah.
Jamie Smith was stand out. I get that. That's a huge thing for India. I really think that while we curse Gambhir a lot, and Gambhir is so lucky. Man, you win that last Test match by 6 runs. If you don't win that Test match, the narrative, just the heat on him would be too much,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Because selection errors have occurred. This is the same shit that used to frustrate the life out of me under Kohli, which is why I raised the Jadeja issue. He picked Jadeja ahead of Ashwin every single time in Sena Test. And every single Test match, I would sit back and watch and observe and go like, man, we have a spinner here who won't just tie up an end. He will be penetrated. He might even get you 2 wickets per innings or 1 wicket
Yes.
per inning, and maybe
Yes.
have one innings in a series where the pitch gets abrasive enough where he will do the job.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I mean, he would at times when it was a pure new ball, green wicket, rain, for example, against New Zealand in the
Yes.
WTC.
See,
Even in that,
beautiful
he's
bowling.
had a couple beautiful spells because he skids the ball there. He bowls differently there, right? And the average, etc., his stats were being held against him. They're being held against him because the start was bad for him. As he
Yeah.
progressed, he got better and better in Sena. Look, his eventual record in Australia is actually quite good here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's so. This was the shit that Kohli used to do for Jaddu, right? And it's
Yeah.
now happening to Kuldeep,
Yeah. 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 I saw it. I saw it. But
right?
let me
And it's
let me bring
but
up a
with
deeper
Kuldeep,
point.
for Kuldeep, I still get it because Jaddu's batting in this series was
Yes.
really revolutionary, man. Okay, fine. Then you play him as a batsman, but make a
Yeah,
bowler spot for him.
you can
That
almost play,
entire
you could have
Nitish
played him as a
Reddy
number
and
5.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Just the oval is the place where you needed to go with four seamers,
Yes.
right? But again, you have the same problem. Your bowling selection or your team selection format has got so rigid, right? You will have this many all rounders, you will have this spinner, and you will have these fast bowlers that you can't even seem to modify yourself to go pick four seamers when you need to.
Yes.
And again, because you don't trust the runs, and in a series of this sort, you could have trusted the runs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, I'm not saying Jaddu gets dropped. Jaddu plays as a batsman, supposing.
Because at the rate at which he was going, he was averaging 90 in the series. You can't drop him, not
Yeah.
as a batter.
So one of the three seamers. So you get those three seamers. I mean, look at it. You're stuck. You have those three seamers, right?
Yes.
I'm talking the last test, which is Akashdeep,
Yes.
uh, obviously Siraj, and
Yes. Prasidh.
Prasidh,
Prasidh
right?
was.
Right now, then on top, did we also have? Yeah, we had again. We this is the bad selection, right? I think we picked this man, Lord Shardul
Lord
Thakur in that test.
Thakur, first test,
No, no,
yes.
I think we picked him in the last one as well.
No, no, we didn't pick him in the last one. Thankfully not. Thankfully not.
Then we
Thankfully
were
not.
locked in. Yeah, we couldn't pick a fourth seamer. We just couldn't go with another kind of balance. There are a lot of commenters, by the way, who are cricket watchers, very good cricket watchers, very smart cricket watchers from India,
Hmm.
who sort of insistent that India could easily go four seamers every time, reduce one batsman,
Not a
and
chance.
increase your
Not a
victory
chance.
chances.
No, no,
I
no.
I understand that in the context of the Australia series, when everybody felt those pitches were doing a lot for the seamers, but I
Yes.
do not understand that in the context of this series.
Yes.
I think it
Yes.
was at worst it's a 50-50 call, but perhaps it's the
Yes.
correct call by Gambhir and company that you needed runs. Now the
You
problem was in
needed
the way
runs.
you were chasing runs, you
Yes.
created a problem for yourself with Shardul, etc. Also,
Yeah.
on those kinds of wickets, Kuldeep is a decent enough bat.
Yeah. Yeah.
He will hold an end. He will easily
He
hold an end. He will
he
score a few
can
runs.
bat. Also remember, India's method in this series was to grind the bowlers down. They had no
Yeah,
interest in going after run rates,
yeah, yeah,
whereas
yeah, yeah,
England
yeah.
always had an eye on the run rate problem.
Even if runs are so important to you in that context, right?
Yeah.
Uh, let's figure it out this way. Do you get more value from Shardul's perceived higher batting performance and virtually
Hmm.
negligent bowling contribution,
Yeah.
right, versus Kuldeep's perceived lower batting performance and
Yes.
perhaps a higher bowling
Higher
contribution?
bowling contribution.
But
Yeah.
bowling contribution not merely to wickets, but he would have eased the bowling, the number of overs that others were bowling.
Certainly.
Potentially a
Certainly.
30 over an innings bowler, maybe
Yeah.
more, especially if the innings goes longer, but easily a 30 overs an innings bowler. He could be easily a
Especially at
25.
Manchester. Especially at Manchester, he could have done a
I
lot
think
of work.
absolutely anywhere with high quality in the left. And if you have a surprise spinner anywhere in world cricket right now, it's this guy here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Outside of the couple of Lankans, it's this guy. It's
Yeah.
really this is the one thing that will perplex me and I'll hold with. But the
Yeah. I
rest of it,
agree.
okay, it's fine. It's fine. And I don't really complain too much. The rest he got right after getting it wrong in the first test. He got that balance better.
But there were a couple of
And to that
really.
end, to Gambhir's, because Gambhir gets a lot of stick for this, and then he should also get the praise for certain things that he did well. One was his consistent backing of Prasidh Krishna, because all of us could
Washington
see.
Sundar.
And
Washington
Washi.
Sundar.
Washi though is a career find for him in the sense that obviously Washi had been found earlier, but nobody was making space for him. He made Washi a priority. He made him a priority in the New Zealand series in India, and he made him a priority in England, right? And
Yes.
the only reason he couldn't do it in Australia, I think, was because there was just too many seamers involved. And the
Yes.
other
Yes.
side,
Yes.
so at somewhere Washi is the transition out of Jadeja.
Yes. 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 Aksar is the other one. Aksar also can be another fulcrum here.
My only fear with Aksar is he's too straight a bowler.
No, but as a
He's a
batter,
very
he's a
T20
very
bowler.
capable batter. He's a very capable
No, no,
batter.
he might even be on his own merit a top six batter.
Yeah, yeah, that's the point. And he's so good against spin in India, especially that he's a super player of spin, and
No,
he
no,
doesn't have too much
Aksar,
trouble around.
Aksar is authentically, forget his bowling. He's a properly accomplished batsman, no doubt about it.
So he just add his bowling to the mix. Now I'd like to talk about the run scorers here. Let's actually look at this run scoring list because this is absolutely important for all of us to take in. Think about it. 754 runs, Bradman-esque. Yes, flat decks, but Bradman had flat decks too. There was actually a genuine chance he could even break Bradman's record after the first two tests. That didn't happen. His best innings was not the 269, it was not the 161, it was the 100 he scored at Manchester to save the test. That was a much better technical 100, by the way. But take above Shubman Gill, this was a great introduction to captaincy. Great introduction. This was a beautiful
I mean,
series
I
for him.
don't even think I don't even think the Manchester 100 also needed immense technique. Look where his technique flawed and protected, where he managed to protect it and get flawed through was he's always susceptible to the incoming delivery. So the classic dismissal at Lords, that's the
Yeah.
one that they were always trying to nail, and he protected himself against it almost throughout. But he could also protect himself because of the slower pitches, much less seam movement, inconsistent seam movement. You're not regularly seeing that movement. So even to set up a man as good as who have reflexes and eyes as good as Gill, you must have enough movement throughout that takes it away regularly as well. So that now you're sort of chasing the away going delivery and you have no option but your foot to be in the dead eye duck kind of zone. But that wasn't happening as much here. I will still say he still comes across quite a bit, and he
Yeah.
will more difficult conditions. We'll see what happens with him. But you just cannot dispute a overall technique what you saw, and
Yes.
B, the shot making skill set. I mean, incredible. He's incredible. He's something really extraordinarily good.
Yeah. 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 Agreed.
Uh, and
How
the
on a
technical
scale of.
hallmark of this series from the Indian side for me, that like the great technician was KL. KL was
Yeah,
brilliant in this
that
series.
absolutely agreed. That guy hardly made a mistake. It's like that good.
Well, I mean, hardly made a mistake is one side to it, but But I think even more than that, KL was he just there is no reason why he kept look, when he did get out. It was either a good delivery or something
Yeah,
had happened to the pitch. And
yeah.
then the only one that I can think of genuine bad errors by him
There
was
was
sort
an
of
inside edge onto the stump side after in
inside
the
edges happen,
Hedingley
bro.
game.
It's not
Yeah.
that. It's the wicket that he gave off the spinner. Yeah, towards the end of the day, I'm forgetting. The this
Oh
when
yeah,
he's
Bashir after the 100 at Lords. Yeah,
oh
yeah,
my
yeah. That one.
god, oh my, that's throwing your wicket away.
Yeah, yeah,
Right, that's throwing a wicket away. And that happened against the seamer also. I'm forgetting which one. That wide, because what he does sometimes with the cover drive is he doesn't stay open faced. He closes the
yeah.
face at
That
the
was
point of
his
impact.
first innings at head. That was his first
Yeah,
innings
yeah,
in
yeah.
the
So,
first
so it takes
first
that
test.
edge
Yeah,
off and
yeah,
goes.
yeah,
So so that's probably the one thing to look at. But otherwise, we all know KL has this in him. The issue is the mind.
yeah,
I was really looking at him at Lords because he had survived that early onslaught, thinking,
yeah,
everybody needs a test match or two to make them,
yeah,
right? To really make your name. And I genuinely thought this might be it for Kale. This might be the one
yeah,
in which he makes his name finally.
yeah,
It wasn't to be.
yeah, yeah. But
Uh,
imagine
Jaiswal,
two.
very,
Yeah,
very odd.
yeah,
Jaiswal,
yeah.
huh? Very
Jaiswal was
odd.
odd. Yeah,
Is it? It's at times it's not very good. And I tell you the one flaw that I'm seeing in particular that I think a lot of teams are going to exploit to exert more power down the ground on the straight drive, he
yeah,
actually opens his body up.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He
He
goes
doesn't
across
go.
himself.
He
He
doesn't
goes
go. He
across
doesn't go
himself.
through the. No, no, no. It's an open body, and then he's pushing through like this. His
Yeah,
feet, instead of being like this, get a little splayed. Right? He
splayed. Yeah,
opens up more, and that means you will edge more, and you will hit in
yeah,
the air more.
yeah,
And, that's something to constantly exploit. If you keep pitching up, he'll do. If you pitch it short and outside off, even mildly outside off, he'll kill you.
yeah,
If you pitch
yeah.
short into his body, he will kill you. Uh,
That is the line which gets Kohli out all the time. Like he was short and outside off. He used to edge behind all the time. Like he had no clue how to play that in the last years of his life,
5 years.
last years of his in this career. In this
Keep
case,
saying last years of his test career. Honestly, it's a third of his test career.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's a lot. It's a hell of a lot. But
No,
forget that. No, no, wait,
yeah,
but Jaiswal can't be let go without
yeah,
comment on that shot
yeah,
at Lords.
yeah, yeah. God, that shot. Had he just uppercut it, it would have gone for six. Nobody
No,
was
no, no,
there
no,
at
no.
third
There
man.
has to be some explanation somewhere for that shot.
Yeah,
Also
yeah,
for his fucking catching. What the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
fuck, man?
yeah,
You have squarely cost India a test match. You have squarely cost that test match was done in 3 days, bro. I
yeah,
mean, in terms of getting so far ahead of the game, you'd have been so
yeah,
far ahead of the game in 3 days that test match was done. Then you just
yeah,
had to
yeah,
finish the grind, finish the job. That's all. Go in and finish the job. He destroyed the Headingley test match. His
yeah.
shot at Lords is firing squad stuff, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But then he goes and produces one of the most, cavalier hundreds you'll ever see again in the oval. Like literally cavalier. He was just going for it. There was nothing. There was literally a kind of a caged animal waiting to be let out. That kind of
Yeah, so
idea.
the evening before, there were times he was very lucky.
Yeah, yeah. He was dropped thrice. I told you, right?
Yeah, dropped, and along with that, I think that is that evening before is when Josh Tongue finally became a bowler in my eyes. Right, that's the best
Mm,
spell of bowling that Josh Tongue came up with. He was really good. He was genuinely good, and
yeah.
we are lucky. Gus Atkinson was injured through the series.
Yep, yep,
If
yep.
Atkinson
Agreed.
plays five Test matches, I don't know if we win the series.
I
I don't
don't
know.
think he'll play. I don't think he would have played five tests even if he had played the first
Very
test
well.
because that,
Let it be
yeah,
three. We got a
yeah,
lot of Wokes, bro. Wokes was rubbish. We got a lot of relief out of Chris Wokes.
yeah.
And they had no
Also,
option to go anywhere else.
Wokes is not going to Australia. After this display, he is not going to Australia.
Especially with the shoulder, the healing, the coming back. Let's see.
Yeah. But one thing I'll tell you, I saw two wonderful examples of exact, opposites on each side. Whenever KL Rahul made a big score, India lost. Whenever Harry Brook made a big score, England lost. A remarkable coincidence.
Yeah,
They each hit
because
200s, and the both of them came in losses
yeah,
for
yeah,
their team.
there's nothing, there's, again, one of those weird stats that people love chiming up about is how many did you score in a win,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
The win comes from the bowlers. What is a batsman supposed to do beyond a point?
Yeah,
The win comes from the bowlers. It's very few circles. What is Bazball theory? So this whole theory that I was talking about, which is make the fourth innings wicket, they take the conventional wisdom of taking 20 wickets out of the game.
yeah, yeah,
They don't
yeah.
need to take
You
20
score
wickets.
as many as you want, I will chase it down.
And because the team batting first is compelled to choose their moment of declaration,
Yes.
right? And the pitch is so flat
Yeah.
that you can start transferring pressure back. That's the way basketball plays. And I'm not saying that makes it particularly easy. It is, you flatten the pitches out, okay, it's a little bit easier, but you've made more out of the batting than out of the bowling here.
Yeah. Yeah. Also,
Early,
how does
early, early iterations of basketball used to be different. They would actually declare challenging their bowlers. They did it
yes,
in
yes.
Pakistan, they did it in New Zealand, they won in Pakistan,
Then
they lost in New Zealand.
this is New Zealand, yes.
Right? But this is not it. Now it's different. Now it's literally like score what you want. We can score faster because the pitch is going to get even better. Like that day five Headingley pitch didn't even
Yeah.
have whatever day four and day three had. Day
It
five was
didn't even have a
even
dent. It didn't even have a
it,
dent in it.
it lost all its juice. It lost everything altogether. Having
Yeah.
said that, one of the standout batsmen for me in this series in terms of impact. I mean, he's not the highest in terms of number of runs scored, but I think Ben Duckett was absolutely sensational in this series.
Brilliant,
Was I became a
brilliant.
fan of Duckett is he's actually a really good batsman per se.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He has technical flaws, but he's a very good batsman.
And my God, he'll kill you with the attack. His
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
technical flaws are nothing compared to the scale of flaws that Zach Crawley has.
Crawley is a walking wicket in Australia if he plays like this.
Depends on what kind of pitches they come up with. They also have problems on their batting. Anyway, that's their problem. We worry about the Ashes later.
Yeah, we'll worry
I
about
guess
the
on this
Ashes at
series,
some
there's only
point.
one other point I want to make. If you can get Prasidh to become a consistent bowler, my view, and I tweeted this frequently in the series, I feel like he just doesn't have enough overs under his belt. And it's something you discussed earlier about him. So
Yeah,
his run up is not consistent. His delivery is not consistent, but he bowls
yeah,
enough wicket taking deliveries. If you get Prasidh to a consistent level, you have a
yes,
genuine wicket taker there, and you have Siraj with him. You can have
yes,
one out of Akashdeep, Arshdeep, or whoever, whichever other youngster you're chasing. You do have a non-Bumrah lineup which is very effective.
yes,
That's not to
yes,
say don't play Bumrah. I mean, I say this because I don't like bowlers having the ability to select test matches. I don't like that, honestly. Then once they are in a test match, to be selecting the number of overs to be bowling. Okay, as was shown in this series, Bumrah's own effectiveness was reduced by that. Admittedly, and this is really a huge asterisk, there are sliding doors moments, man, and I don't undermine sliding door moments. Okay, I'll give you a small example. Like Tendulkar has a certain aggregate and average in the 99 three-match test series in Australia. 6 out of 3
yes,
innings, he gets howlers, like absolute howlers. That's a sliding doors moment. That could be a 450 series for him. And if it's a 450 series for him, maybe you win a test match or so. These
yeah,
things
yeah, yeah.
change. Bumrah, if Jaiswal takes his catches, Bumrah runs through England at
In the
Headingley,
Headingley
right?
test.
He runs through them pretty much that day, and he bowls. But from Headingley onward, you could see his effectiveness wane,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
With
he was
with
only
a
taking.
test match gap in between, with a test match gap
Yeah,
in between and
maybe
everything.
the gap is the problem, Sima. Maybe the gap is the problem. The rhythm goes.
No, no, but listen, we saw the problems in Australia already creeping up. We saw him at Sydney, right? Sydney was admittedly a fifth test, and you could see it at the MCG also. The man was basically uh, on an oxygen tank at that point. He could not sustain it at all. In Sydney, he was bowling at 130, 120. It was not a good sign for him at all. For me, that
Yeah,
is why.
and the problem then is, my instinct then is to say that my reasoning is always then that I can accommodate him, right? But then
Yeah,
now I start treating him as the exception rather than the rule. right? So I am devising a bowling lineup without Bumrah,
And keep
right?
him whenever it's possible.
That's right. But my planning has to be without Bumrah,
Ah, yes, correct.
right? And then when I can have him, that's a huge bonus. No disputing. And I'm not saying don't pick him. Otherwise, pick him every time you can pick him.
But not every match.
Which
That is the
because
point.
you can't do that, you're perhaps picking him for 50% of your games, test matches, correct?
Yeah, yeah. Or even fewer.
Actually,
Or even fewer.
in this cycle, you won't even have that problem because they're all home test matches, and there are
You
two
won't
test
even
match
need to
series.
pick him in a couple of matches. You can rest him
A
there
cup
also.
A that B, even if you do pick him, how many overs do you need from him? Yeah, nothing. The rest of
Nothing,
the
nothing.
spinners to do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You go get your 5 overs from him with the new ball, 7 overs from him with the new ball. That's it. You're done. So
And
after
occasionally, if
that,
you
you
want
chill
him
for a
for some reverse
session,
swing, occasionally, if you want him for some reverse swing, get him back.
or if a partnership gets stuck for a bit,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
right?
Uh,
So it's okay. So
Yeah,
in this WTC cycle, so it is very easy to manage. I think,
yeah,
as I'm
yeah,
seeing
yeah.
the right, because you don't have any other 5 match series against any other 5 match series,
Yeah. You're
and you
only
mostly
having
have one
one
series.
place. You're only going to one place where pace is going to be a thing, and that is
South
going to be a
Africa.
two test match series against New Zealand away. All right. That is not is a big deal. Yeah, that's not a big deal. But when it comes to our other away series, the other away series is in Sri Lanka, which is basically India 2.0 at this point.
In
So it
fact,
doesn't matter.
even better pitches than ours. By
Yeah,
the way,
even better.
Sri Lanka, because of the island nature of the country, obviously, and you get a lot of that coastal wind into these
Yeah.
grounds. I don't know where they'll be playing. I mean, they'll be playing at Dambola or in Colombo. I don't know.
No, no, no.
Uh,
They'll be playing Gaul. Gaul is definitely going to be one pitch.
Super. Gall gets a lot of sea breeze. You get swing here. You get
Yeah,
and
you'll
sticky
get Gaul.
pitches. You get swing. Seam bowlers do come into it. Fast bowlers do come into it a little. But yeah, spinners everywhere throughout. This is, by the way, this is the cycle to
Yeah.
develop your next great spinner.
Yes, 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 yes. Agreed.
I don't know if
Agreed.
there's a youngster in the picture. I've not heard of a single name that people are looking at as a proper test match spinner for the future.
And can we have a round of applause for Rishabh Pant? The man has put his body on the line. That dude is on another planet with regards to determination. He goes through a car accident, goes 1.5 years without playing anything, comes back, wins a T20 World Cup. Admittedly, he didn't do much, but he deserves it for those efforts alone. Then comes back to England, fractures his foot, comes out to bat, like stuff of dreams. This is
Yeah,
this
he's
is the
great.
kind of stuff.
He is a huge asset, a huge asset. Like this, Rishabh Pant needs no further words. Rishabh Pant is your go-to guy. I might be. Like take Jurel in the team and let this man only bat. Let him just
Yeah,
be
yeah,
your
yeah.
number five.
Even though he's a great keeper, even though he's a great
I don't think
keeper.
he's a great keeper. I think he's a very good keeper. I don't think he's a great. I think Jurel's a better keeper. You can keep Jurel,
Yeah,
and that lengthens your batting.
yeah, yeah. Massively, and
But
that solves your
it does
Karun
take a
Nair
bowling
problem.
spot
That
away.
solves your
But it
Karun
does take
Nair
a
problem.
bowling spot away. Now, if you take Pant as the keeper and bat him at five,
Yeah.
right, and you say even you take Jaddu at six, and I treat him like a batsman at six,
Oh yeah. 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 Yeah.
right? You can still do five bowlers from here,
Yeah. You can. You can. You can.
and especially for the home test, that's enough. Jaddu at six is a batsman, and he's a prime bowling uh, asset. You can
Yeah.
pick one spinner that you want to develop, and you want to give him test match overs.
Please give Kuldeep overs. Please give Kuldeep
Has
overs
to be
at least in
Kuldeep,
the home
yeah. It
test.
has to be good. It's let's say Jaddu becomes you want to move on from Jaddu in a season
Yeah.
or 2 seasons, right? Maybe at the end of this WTC cycle, 27 cycle, you want to move away from it.
Yeah.
Obviously, the presumption is it's Kuldeep and Washi,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they
And
probably get
Aksar.
two
And Aksar.
cycles.
And
And
Aksar.
Aksar, they probably get 2 cycles of the WTC.
Yes. Yes.
Perhaps
Yes.
three,
Yes.
but two, definitely.
Yeah.
Together as a
Two.
unit. Washi will have more cycles, Kuldeep will not.
Kuldeep will not. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's, I think, the planning here.
Also, Dhruv Jurel solves your number three Karun Nair problem. That also can get solved. He's a supremely technical batsman. He can play
I
at the
think
number
right
three
for
spot.
now they are going with Sai Sudarshan, but I do like Dhruv Jurel more. I'm with you on that. I like Dhruv more. Jurel's a
Sai
lovely bat.
Sudarshan has his issues.
It's the angled
Yeah.
bat comes like this every time.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So
I can see that.
it's the fourth slip. backswing.
Leg slip problem for him. He
No,
can
no, because
always
of the
get.
fourth slip backswing, right? If you
Yeah,
then
yeah,
your wrist is going to lock up like that. It's visible.
yeah. And if
But
we have
he's
a look
getting
at,
more determined about it. I mean, he looked good at the oval. No? He batted hard. He played well.
yeah, 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 yeah. But if you have a look at the bowlers, please, Siraj, my man, dropped catch and all that, fine, fair enough. But still, you won a
Bro, Siraj
test match,
was absolutely
insane.
awful in the first test. He was
And then he comes
awful
back, right?
beyond. He picks it up in his on the fifth day. On the fifth day, second spell or so, he starts bowling a lot better.
Yeah,
Lot better.
yeah,
And he gets the line and the length and he starts making it a much tighter setup from that fifth day onwards.
yes,
Second test
yes,
onwards, he's just magic. And there will people have to stop getting on bowlers' backs for losses that happen from time to time. Wicket nahi le paya. Hanji, you will have spells where a bowler can't get breakthrough. Doesn't mean they're not bowling bad. They're bowling badly. They're bowling well. There's another
yeah,
person over there at the other end whose job is it is also to get past good bowling. So sometimes that balance happens. But my God, from day four and oval, forget day four and oval, man, day two at the oval, he broke
yeah,
them in the first inning. They
yeah,
were off and running after that opening partnership.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
were going to be
And
well
even
behind the game.
or even on the flattest of decks, probably the second test deck was the flattest one at Leeds.
Yeah,
Not
but
Leeds, sorry,
I mean,
Birmingham. He
not Leeds,
produces one spell.
You mean
Uh,
Birmingham,
Birmingham. 6 for 70 in the first innings. Brilliant spell.
bro. Akashdeep in that test match is
It's a
special,
series. Yeah,
really special. Especially that ball to Joe Root. Ooh,
yeah, yeah. Pure genius. Pure genius. That ball.
I mean, Joe Root got stuck on the wide delivery.
Yeah, yeah.
And so he went, he also, so the same shot, by the way, people were grilling Ollie Pope for. He played the same shot to get
Same
bowled
shot.
at
Yeah,
Headingley, right?
yeah.
Because he also went with the angle of the delivery and was trying to play through the leg side and got bowled. I mean, it's the same concept. You're
Same
induced
concept.
into the
Yeah,
same error. But
yeah.
uh, nobody says it to Root because obviously Root has that record and he's got that. But it's an inevitable mistake. It's a good ball whether Pope gets it or Root gets it. It's an inevitable mistake a batsman will make. Uh, I will be a little bit critical of it though. You used to see those dismissals more in ODIs.
Yeah,
You did
yeah,
not see
yeah,
them as much in test matches because the
yeah.
compulsion to hit the boundary wasn't as much. So batsmen were more open to staying
Sorry,
square on. There would be
square.
deliveries that they can flick through mid wicket and leg side that they would often be playing down the ground
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
scoring that way. That meant that you lost a few scoring shots, a few scoring opportunities. But what you did do was you took away risk. So
Yeah,
these are the
you took
balances
away.
that you have to do in Test cricket, right?
I think we also might have won the Aussies the Ashes. India might have won the Aussies the Ashes by making Ben Stokes bowl himself into the ground. Like literally. Stokes bowled himself so often. So
Is there any update on his fitness? I mean, it's the Ashes still a while away, 2 months away.
I agree, but it's another ligament issue probably coming up. So he will have his issues again and again and again. So that is one thing. So Stokes for me is going to be this enigma. He will play the great innings, he will bowl the great innings, he will bat and bowl great innings, but as a consistent performer, sometimes he'll surprise you completely out of nowhere. But an extraordinary kind of chap, right? So that was one. I also liked his captaincy at some places. Like he always kept some dangling carrots, keep on saying, okay, go on, have that, have that. It was nice to see him do that. His handshake
Yeah,
gesture was one of
now that you've raised that topic, absolutely, he can go fuck himself for what happened at the end of the fourth test.
the yeah,
No,
the
that was
handshake
ridiculous,
gesture. The handshake
ridiculous,
gesture.
dude,
Yeah,
ridiculous.
wonderful. Yeah, what does he expect? Like, what does he even expect Washi and Ravindra Jadeja to do when they're like at 95 and 85? They will hit their hundreds and then they'll declare for obvious reasons. If they were at 60, I can understand. Nobody is waiting that long to get 100. Got it. I agree. They were not at 60. They were almost on the doorstep of getting their hundreds. What on earth were you doing?
Bro, I think a part of that was his own frustration. That is
Yeah.
late on day five. He knew he's out of the next test.
Yeah, yeah, he knew it. He knew it. And you know what the worst part was? No, or the best part, I should say, was his first statement to McCallum when he got McCallum appointed as coach was, "We will not be playing for draws." This was the man who went, had to hit a humble pie and go and shake somebody by the hand to get the draw. Like literally, this guy's arrogance was meeting its maker.
With what? With 17, 18 overs to go?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
About 20 overs to go?
yeah,
Nearly?
yeah, yeah.
Only 6 wickets to get?
No, I mean that was the level of this man's arrogance when he said we are not going to play for draws. That was the level of arrogance he displayed.
Oh, that's what
Well,
I'm
he
saying.
was,
You had enough overs to keep going for your win. I really enjoyed the great cricket sequence on this. When they
yeah.
kept saying, "Oh, you're not going to do what I want you to do," that means you're not playing in the spirit of the game. This spirit of
Oh
the
yeah,
game
yeah,
bullshit and
yeah,
England, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
This
The
spirit of
racist.
the game bullshit and Ben Stokes.
Yeah,
Other than Bucknor and his antics against Indian cricket for a decade and a half, this
yeah,
generation will not understand. You don't understand the rage we feel.
yeah, yeah,
There's a
yeah.
World Cup final that is fucking stolen because Ponting was plumbed LBW
Plum
twice. He scored
LBW.
a
I've seen
hundred
that.
after
I've
that.
seen that. Yeah, yeah. I've seen that.
Scored a hundred after that, boss. 100.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay. Uh, so forget. Other than that, the one cricketing moment that made my blood boil was Ben Stokes diving in on the 13th of July 2019
yeah,
and the
yeah.
ball rebounding off his bat and going for four
Four. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
overthrows, and then him accepting it. Like, whoa, I'm so sorry. Where's your spirit
yeah,
of cricket then, man? Where's the spirit of cricket then?
yeah,
They England are whingers and whiners, and we shouldn't care. None of the rest of the world should care. And they
yeah,
rightly at the end of that test, they got it from all quarters,
yeah, yeah, yeah. They did. They did.
even from
But
their own. For once, even from their own media.
yes, 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 yes. They did. They did. They did. One more thing which was so interesting in all of this was I saw Harry Brooks' technique getting exposed again and again and again. That inseamer, the inseamer literally is like a death blow for him if you plan it
Yeah,
correctly.
yeah, but he
It-
can also destroy bowling. Everybody will applause, bro. Everybody will applause.
yeah, yeah,
Kohli
yeah,
had
yeah,
flaws.
yeah, yeah,
Chanapal
yeah,
had flaws. Steve Smith visibly has a flaw. But
yeah,
if you can play and if you can produce the outcomes, then that doesn't matter beyond it. Aaron Brook um, had a series exactly to me like Jaiswal.
yeah, yeah. Pretty much, pretty
Right?
much.
It's a very curious series.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He actually underscores in this series, but he also has significant scores.
Yeah, and he has a 199, which is one of the most lucky 99s, just like
He
Jaiswal's
was
100
gone
in
for
the
zero.
final test.
He was out for zero.
He was out for zero. He was out for 46. He was out for 54. He was out for like it's literally on another planet as to how many times he was either dropped or out on a no ball. It
Yeah.
was ridiculous. I think he was out at least 5 times in that series. It was that bad. Anyway, but in that innings, sorry. But that was how bad it was, right? So that is the kind of situation we were getting into. But more to that, we'll finish up the England versus India series on that note. A fair result, a good series to watch, and a very entertaining, package on the whole. So we'll close on that
Yeah, yeah.
point. But
Great test cricket. Not the highest quality, but all the emotional thrill of test cricket. Loved it. Loved
yeah,
it.
yeah, loved it.